You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to do the good old Hutton run. I'm at Jameson Memorial. We're not too far away. I've kitted out the entire ship with additional fuel tanks and a Class 4 fuel scoop. We'll go through what I've got the build in a moment. 19,000 credits in fuel. There you go. We've got all of the fuel. Let's get ourselves into Starport Services, into the outfitting. We'll go through the build. Nothing in the hard points, because, you know, well, whatever. Heat sink launcher. Ablative lightweight alloys. Power plant. Yeah, got an 8A in there. Got all of the things there we don't even really need. I mean, to be fair, replace that module. We could put in a Guardian right there. Equip that module. There you go. We've got the Mark II gravity optimized thrusters, the modifications, dirty drive, drag drive, because I was doing something else. There is our supercharge optimized frameshift drive, the Mark II. So Class 8, 8A, we've got the modifications, increased range mass manager, life support, power distro, yes, all of the things. And even with that, look, we got 79 light years out of the thing. Sensors we got on lightweight. And we've got a different fuel tank. We'll replace that up now with the 7 fuel tank. There you go. To get some refuel on you. And as you can imagine, I've dropped the shields, all of the fuel tank, Guardian frameshift drive booster, because we've got to get there, right? And I've gone and popped a 4A fuel tank to refuel when I'm there. Got one compartment left over. I don't think we're going to need it. Famous last words. So, with that then, get a refuel on. We go over to ship. There you go. Current 61.57 light years is the jump range, which is pretty good, right, when you consider it. We're going to get ourselves over to the Hutton system and do the run. Then, here we go. Here we go. We're going to get ourselves out of here. We've got the autopilot on. I've got the holographics on because it looks quite nice. I've changed my mind. The holographics look good with a darker paint job. And I've got the gold going on there. And we're through. And we're out. And we're ready to go. Alpha Centauri, which is not far from Shinrata. It's about 60 light years. We're going to get ourselves over there. We've got the lights on. We're going to fuel up. We're going to get a clock on screen. And see how long it takes us to get over there. I do like the shimmer effect on this from blue to purple on the holographic. Very Tron-like, I must say. Either way, that's what we're going to do. It's all about Hutton Orbital. Let's get cracking. So here we are, folks, in the Hutton system, taking on a little bit of fuel. Fuel scoops are getting their scoopage on. We've got prongs. Look at that, prongs on the front of this. Not sure I'm a fan of the prongs. Kind of spoils its lines. Not sure I'm a fan of those. Sort of like bolted on the outside either. But anyway, this is what we're going for. This is what we're going with. This is the golden paint job that you get with the Stella. And of course the holographic that you get. Didn't go with the light blue. Cyan. But there you go. That's what we're choosing to do. Let's see if we've taken on all of the fuel. We haven't yet. Only a Class 4. But we'll be on our way promptly. Right then, everybody, we are ready. We're ready to go. Are you ready? We're going to do it in real time. We're going to keep the clock running. And we're going to get cracking. So, start the clock. We're off. Super Cruise overcharge. We are away. So this will give us a good idea, indicatively, how long it's going to take us to get there. Standard ships used to do it in 30 minutes and used to be happy about that. This has got better engines. This has got a better frameshift drive. Again, like all the SCO ships, what it's looking at is the ship SCO optimized, like the Mandalay was, like the Cobra Mark V, the Python. In fact, the Cobra Mark V was a decent little ship. Did it in under 19 minutes, I believe. So here we are with the Caspian Explorer. It's saying at the current rate, look at this, for a large ship, even though we can't land at Hutton Orbital and claim our free Anaconda, but at least we'll get a mug. We won't even get a mug because we can't land. It's coming in right now. If we can maintain this speed, and the temperature's creeping up from 58 to 60, 35 minutes. Look at that. That's where we're at. That's where we're at with it. So we'll keep checking in as we go onwards with this. One thing I am quite surprised about, and I'm eating a chocolate orange at the same time, is the amount of wobble on this. Given it's meant to be tuned for SEO, it should be rock solid. I mean, we've got a load of fuel here, and this Explorer ship is sucking it down. Class 7 engines, Class 8 FSD. It really is crazy. Look at it. That's a madness. We're getting through it. Perhaps I should have got all those Class 1 slots as well, all fueled up for this. Looking at the Caspian Explorer bounce around. Lovely holographic. I do like that. Look at that. It's like it goes from blue to white to purple. So Tron-like. So Tron-like. Of course, with the Caspian Explorer as well, we've got all the mod cons and flip down lights. I thought these lights would have been a bit better, to be perfectly honest with you. But that's what we've got. We've got no hard points attached to this. But we did a video on the hard points, showing where they are. A nice looking ship. A nice looking ship. It really is. I think a lot of people are going to be using this as their exploration tool of choice. With all the things that you need, you're looking at about 74, 75 light years. Everything you need to get out into the black. And then, if you get near a neutron star, well, that's even better, because there's a multiplier attached. I got this up to like 514 light years. And that's a maxed out build. With all the things that you can do, you're probably looking at about 480, I would say, easily. And then, of course, you've got this bridge. Look at it. How Star Trek is that? Directly placed where some ships might have a deflector dish. You've got a panoramic cockpit for you and your chums. It's not bad, is it? The ship kit is growing on me as well. It really is. Either way, things are looking pretty good so far. We're hammering towards Hutton, which is in this general direction. Sucking down the fuel. 32 minutes to go. You know, that's... I mean, we're going to maintain this speed. Even if we drop a heat sink. We will maintain this speed. It's quite simple, really, isn't it? Okay then, here we go. 30 minutes to go. All good stuff. This ship is very much aimed for the explorer around town. It's very much aimed at going out into the black and not coming back for an extended period of time. And that's reflected in the stellar and galactic builds of the Caspian Explorer, I believe. When you think about it, you know, auto field maintenance units, and there was like 3 of them. Yeah, it had shields, big old fuel scoop, got the fuel tank in there, some limpet controllers, research limpet controllers, and that sort of like raised up a little bit of awareness. What are we going to see for those research limpet controllers right there? Do you know what I mean? Obviously collector limpet controllers, very good. We like those. And repair limpet controllers. What it was lacking on you, though, was a Guardian frameshift drive booster. So when you totally and utterly have to boost this ship, right, you want a Guardian frameshift drive booster. But that's an unlockable thing behind, you know, a bit of Guardian gameplay, that Guardian narrative. When are we going to get Class 2 one of those? So again, very surprised on how much this ship is wobbling about a bit. Down to 29 minutes now. That's kind of where we're at. The clock is coming up and saying 7 minutes elapsed. Keep the clock on the go, just like that. So that's not so bad. Interesting stuff when you think about that, really. Interesting stuff. So, you've got this new Super Cruise Overcharge frameshift drive that likes exotic particles from the neutron stars. Like I was saying, you know, you can get this up to over 520 at least with the right build. And then if you want a practical build, I think really it's going to be about 470, what with the multipliers from the neutron stars, which is very interesting indeed. Very interesting indeed. Plus, are we going to see upgrades to all the other ships that are knocking about as well? Could be. I think if the Mandalay had one of these new frameshift drives, whew, that'd be a nice little ship to bomb around in, wouldn't it? But you wouldn't have the storage as what you're going to be getting here with the Caspian. That's the thing. The whole design of everything you could possibly want in one ship. And that's that. 28 minutes now. That's where we're going to go with it. What else? Well, ablative armor. You can get approach angles of around 70% without crashing into the planet surface. Got to be careful you don't crash into the planet surface, mind you. You've also got the Mark II thrusters as well. Incidentally, with the ablative armor, you can have mirrored, you can have reactive, you can have reinforced, all that sort of stuff on the ablative armor as well. So it's a whole new armament module that you can have on this ship, which is interesting. It really is. And of course it looks like a ship from Voyager, does it not? Let's take a look now. We're 9 minutes in, good for us. There we go. On the outside, the ship is looking fantastic. It really is. And handling well. A good effect of what's going on there. That sort of like strobing effect of the holograms. I really should be saved from having chocolate oranges. Nice ship. I think the hologram does lend itself to the dark paint jobs as opposed to the lighter ones. Not a fan of that cyan. You know what I mean? Not a fan. So we're glowing in all the right places. The bridge looks a bit of a lonely place, doesn't it, really? Good to have your friends. And perhaps like with operations and having your crew on this ship as well, that would be a good thing. And the ship might be lending itself to the operations gameplay, not just the exploration / distant worlds thing that everyone can be looking at. So there you go. For some reason the timer stopped, but it hadn't stopped for long. So the big question here is, how many people are going to go out just before Christmas and splurge on a Caspian Explorer? Standard edition comes very basic. If you want the nice new modules, which you can buy in game, don't get me wrong, they're not hidden behind a paywall or anything like that, and the ship kits and the paint jobs. There's the Galactic version, or there is the Stellar version. Galactic version, you get everything in the Stellar version. Stellar version, you just get some paint jobs and a ship kit. You get it all. You get it all with the Galactic version, which is great. I think it's good value for money. Probably coming in about 20 odd quid though. All of the arcs. But there's a video on YouTube There's a video on YouTube. I go through all the differences between the Stellar and Standard editions and all of that. And it's going to come down, I think, to Commander's personal preferences and how people sort of are reacting to things like this ship. This ship doesn't make you win in any way, in my opinion. This ship just makes life a little bit easier. So is it pay to win? Nah. Never. This is a great ship. Fantastic ship. That just opens up, you know, part of the game. Makes it more accessible. You're going to get it in game for credits anyway. Once you buy one of these ships for ARX, then the ones you buy, if you keep it as you buy it, 0 rebuy. Once you start engineering, there's going to be a percentage applied to all of that, however. And if you change out any modules. Now, you can't take modules off this and bung it in a Cobra. Once you sell them, you sell them. They're non-transferable. And in addition to all of that as well, once you buy the ship for ARX, you can then buy additional ships for in-game credits. So, at Shinrata, this was coming in at about 170 million. Kind of what you'd expect, really. It was all right. I was quite interested. Very interested in that, you know. It was a decent price. Big old ship, mind. Has to be said. Big old ship. And landing on planets is going to be something we're going to have to test out. We're really going to have to test out. Okay, let's have a look. What we got here then? We have got 22 minutes left to go. How's the fuel looking? We are going to run out of fuel, everybody. And I really went for it on the fuel this time. That's a problem. Look at that. That's a problem. We are going to die on the way to Hutton Orbital or have to call the rats out. We're not going to make it. We're not going to make it. Okay, I could have taken out the Class 4 fuel scoop, if you know what I'm saying. However, that's not going to make the blindest bit of difference. So we'll go the rest of the way, as the Mandalorian said, with the windows down. Let's see what happens there. Either way, I don't think this is going to be a goer. Now, I'm sure there may be a tweak to this for fuel consumption, and perhaps the wobble. You never know, because Frontier Developments do listen to the community. But as it stands, we were going to run out of fuel there trying to maintain Super Cruise. Temperature was fine. The fuel consumption is a thirsty old beast. If this changes, I'll attempt another run. Either way, though, we're looking at the standard 30-odd minutes to get there. You let me know what you think, everybody. But that was interesting. We kind of sucked through 3/4 of the fuel in about 15 minutes. Interesting stuff. Wonder if that'll get tweaked. I've been Ricardo. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon.